Good morning. I'm Reverend Grace Lovejoy. I'm a licensed and ordained minister for Centers for Spiritual Living, and I teach and practice Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind. It saved my life. Welcome very much this morning, and I am very happy to be here and remembering who I am. And one of the things that I forgot to remember earlier was that I have a very dry mouth. Last week I got to be the presider, and by the time I listened to it to see what did I say, because I can never remember. And dang, I sounded drunk. This dry mouth will do that to you. So I have a cough drop in my mouth. Please forgive me. But I think we'll all appreciate the spit. I like to keep things sacred. So one of what I get to talk about today is the divine community, and I am part of this community and have been more than once. I was here in the late 90s and early 2000s and became a practitioner here. And some of you are touchstones for me here. Thank you so much for still being here as I've come back. And I am still part of my community down in Southern California. I get to see people on Zoom. I think that's the best thing that happened to us when we move around so much, is that we have, thank you, Elisha. Water is collecting on my behalf. The Zoom allows me to stay in touch with people. I have a couple of reading groups going that is very fun for me, and I get to keep that community as well. And the reason I'm back here is, first of all, it was always my intention to go get trained to be a minister and come back here, because this place is home to me. This place is home. And so I am so delighted to be here with my friend Elisha, because I met Elisha my first day of ministry in my pulpit. It was his first day of coming to church there. So we've known each other a long time. And I am cough drop. I didn't know it was going to make me cough. I'm so delighted to be here with him. Isn't he exciting? He's got new stuff going on. It's so imaginative. And if you haven't become a part of that yet, plan to, because it's pretty dang fun around here now. And the other reason that I moved up here, and I'm going to cry a lot, and I hope you'll join me if you'd like, is that two of my very best friends in the entire world, Katie and Rusty, said, "We want you to come live in this little cottage. We're going to fix it all up for you." And they did. And Katie died last March. And Rusty died last Wednesday. And so yesterday was his memorial service, and some of you were there. And I was up at 3 a.m. talking to you all. And being part of a great big divine community that they were part of, and being part of this divine community, it's like, it's the reason we're here. We're not here to be rugged American individuals. That was an old era. This time is because the second coming of the Christ is not a Messiah, it's a community. Amen. Thank you. It's time for a united mind. We can't change the world with our one individual thought. We need support, don't we? In virtually everything. And it's imperative that we hold on to each other as we start to think in a way that changes the vibrational fields around us. There's wild and exciting things going on just on this piece of property. Somebody will tell you about that some other time. I'm telling you now, there's an opportunity for us to come together with an idea and practice it. It can't be a good idea in the mind of God. It has to be absolutely grounded on the earth plane. What good is it if it's just out in the ethers? Except that every thought we have, you've heard Elisha say this, I know. Every thought we have is part of the thoughtmosphere. We're not just breathing the atmosphere, we are part of a thoughtmosphere. And the more positive thoughts that we send out there into the world, the more the world begins to feel it. Science of mind, way long time ago, was a new thought. It was a brand new thought to think these ideas, to understand the concept that what you think about and what you talk about is what's going to come about in your life. So, I mean, that is the number one principle. So, our motto is change your thinking, change your life. It's taken me years to figure out what that I was thinking. Not just what was I thinking, I am always constantly thinking. There's something going on in my mind at all times. You have thoughts going on while you're trying to hear me. We chat, go on. And to sit down and meditate, everybody thinks, oh, we're just going to sit down and your mind will turn off and we'll all be in peace. I hear you laughing. I know you know what I know, which is that doesn't happen. So what happens is, here's what I want you to do next time you get a chance to sit down and do a little meditation. Get yourself good and comfy. Make sure your back's all supported, your feet are on the floor. Take a deep breath. Put your hands in your lap or under your armpits, I don't care. And don't move a muscle. When the itch on your nose is starting to drive you crazy, don't move a muscle. If you need to, put all your concentration on the itch, all of it, everything on the itch, and it will go away. Or you can look in another direction with your eyes closed, and that will go away. After 10 minutes, about 10 minutes, physiologically, you will get a dump of melatonin. That's the brain chemical that helps you go to sleep at night. You know that place where you're tossing and turning and tossing and turning. I started that at 3 a.m. When you get still enough, you get that melatonin and you can finally fall asleep. So when that happens and you'll feel it in your body, you don't have to turn off your thinking. You can't even if you try. But you can sit perfectly still and your body will start, as it starts to settle down, your mind will sort of come along for the journey. And then when you come back out of it, it will take a while to actually wake your body up. That's why we go, okay, just move, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and come back out of your meditation. So what kind of a thought do we want to take into meditation when we're doing that kind of deep work? We want a thought that amplifies the good in the universe. We want a thought that raises our whole consciousness up, and we want to be able to share those thoughts with each other. So if you're not currently in one of Sky's groups on the second and fourth Wednesdays, is that right? Yeah. Thank you. Get in one. I'll be starting a reading group myself. If you guys want to join me, we read out loud to each other and talk about it. We go off in every direction you can imagine. It takes a long time to read a short book. But we're sharing the same thoughts. We're sharing one thing to focus on, and when that happens, the thoughtmosphere around us starts to change. And you're here in Santa Cruz, and I'm back here in Santa Cruz because this place already has a different thought-mosphere. Don't you think? This is not like most places. It might be a little bastion of sanity in a crazy world. And we can amplify that and move it beyond us, and we can start to talk to those people. Anybody know any of those people? I'm related to some of those people. Watching the news for the last 5 years or so, and it's been very different. And the change, I can feel a change happening, but we still have conversations going in directions that can get us charged up, because those people think wrong, right? They say the same about us. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you what my current spiritual practice is. I'm taking the words you and they out of my vocabulary. Every time you say you, there's a finger pointing. When you do that, so, and there is no they, there's only us here. We're all us. Everybody gets to have a different opinion, and we're still us. So now what that means is that I have had to be absolutely aware that I'm thinking, and then what I'm thinking, and then how do I want to say it so that there's no you and they in there? So that, here's an example. When someone does something that offends us, and we say, when you do that, then blah, 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 and I'm crushed, and I'm blah, blah, blah. You know how you do. You do. I know how you do because I do. Here's the way I phrase it nowadays. When that happens, I feel this. When that happens, I feel this. There's no you, there's no blame. And I sometimes say, would you rephrase that? And we have to stop and think about what we're thinking and what we're saying, and how can we say what we really are feeling with kindness and respect. So, a way long time ago, the last time I was here, I was in a group of people, and Kaylee Dugan was in that as well. And she had a couple of things to say. You know Kaylee. But my question was, what is peace if it's not the absence of war? What is peace if it's not just, we're not going to kill each other today? And she said the best thing in the whole wide world, which is, if you treat everyone with kindness and respect, that is peace. It doesn't matter what they're saying. I have to respond with kindness and respect. And if I do that, it can be heard. It can be heard because I'm not setting myself in opposition. So, good luck on the practice. I'm still working it for all it's worth. And I've been at it for a long time. So I want to say that this is an opportunity for us to start to think in a different way. And I want to go back to my friends Katie and Rusty because they are the most generous people I've ever met in my life. And my friend Cheryl watched the service on Zoom, and she said that everyone was sharing how generous Katie and Rusty have been to them, and that kindness and respect and generosity was for everybody. And here's what it looked like for me. 21 years ago, I had a liver transplant. Sorry, for those of you who've been around a while, you've heard this story about a million times. Just plug your ears, I'll get over it fast. And I was in the hospital for a month waiting for a liver to show up. And for 2 weeks while I was up at UC Santa Cruz, Katie and Rusty, UC San Francisco, thank you, UCSF. I worked at UCSC, does that count? Okay. They showed up in my hospital room every single day. Every day from San Jose, drove up to San Francisco to see me. That is a generous offering of their time. And at one point, my friend Katie got in bed with me and read me The Runaway Bunny, which was very sweet. Now I have to tell you how the universe really works. A couple of years later, after the transplant, Katie and Rusty and I go off to see a play in San Jose, and I don't remember what it was, but they made a movie with Emma Thompson in it. And in it, there's a scene where this woman gets in the bed with Emma Thompson, who's dying of cancer, and she reads her The Runaway Bunny. Katie and I burst into tears. That's how the universe works. When you catch the infinite, and the coincidences are immense. And they are not a coincidence, they are co-incidence. We create it, we co-create it with the infinite. So everything we talk about will create the coincidences that bring the people, places, money, generosity, time, and consideration into your life. Speak out into the universe what you want. Don't talk about what you don't want. You're calling it in. Yeah? That's right. So just say, preach on, sister. That's right. I like participatory, no harassing or haranguing, but participate. Yeah. So the one thing that I'm not used to here on this platform is when I need to stop. I'm all right? Now is good. Okay, so I'm trying to say here, I guess, because I haven't slept much and I've cried a lot and I've been in grief and laughter and joy and inspiration and excitement all simultaneously. And I like it. I'd rather have less of the grief. There was a lot of it all at once. And I was listening to Tamara a couple of weeks ago when she was talking about all the people in her life who were like, bye. And I'm going, my sister died in 19. My Katie and Rusty died. A friend of 50 years died in February. People are dropping like flies. What do they know I don't? But here's the other thing. And it's this. If I'm still standing after a liver transplant and all of that stuff, it means I have something to do. I'm here for a reason. If you're sitting here listening to me, it's because you have something to do. And let's do it together, because this united mind, this divine community makes a difference in this place. It makes a difference in this city, in this county, in this state, in this nation, around the world. It just keeps moving along with the atmosphere. Are you with me? Yes. Then let's go into prayer. Close your eyes, my darlings. Put your feet on the floor. Do the religious science shuffle. Feel yourself well grounded. And breathe. Every indrawn breath is inspiration. I am breathing now freely and easily. And exhale and let those old thoughts and ways expire. Inspiration, expiration. And in this time of united thinking, united thoughtmosphere, united consciousness, I recognize that there is something wonderful happening here today amongst us because we came together for a high and holy purpose. We may or may not know exactly what it is yet, but we are here to participate. And as we do that, we can feel our own minds and hearts and lives and generosity expand. I am encouraging each and every one of us to have a memorial service many long years from now where people say how generous we have been, how generous with time and money and effort and kindness and respect. It's what we are, it's who we are, and it's what we're going to spread around in the world at large through that united mind that we are creating here and now amongst us all. We are so blessed, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.